Hello everyone and welcome to the Right Oracle. Today we are going to be channeling a message from Spirit, and we are going to be channeling messages on what you need to hear right now. I've been getting kind of the energy of like there's some people who right now in the collective may be feeling lost or maybe feeling like you don't really necessarily have a grip on your life right now, a firm grip on your life right now. And I already drew a few cards, so we're going to look deeper into those cards. But this is the message that Spirit wants you to hear right now. And the deck that I will be using today is the Book of Shadows Tarot. I love this deck. It's one of my favorite decks. I really love the illustrations. Starting with the first few cards that jumped out when I asked Spirit what messages she has. We have the Six of Fire. And as you can see, it's this old man. He has, I forgot what the little things are called, but he has that thing in his hand. And then you see the planet behind him is Saturn. So right off the bat, we already know Saturn rules over structures and time and discipline and karma and just all those things that require a lot of effort. The next card that jumped out is Seven of Fire. And as you can see, there's this old man figure. He kind of looks a little wired, almost like a little weathered. And then he has these salamanders going all throughout his hair. I think those are salamanders anyway. And the planet behind this person, it almost looks like it's the same man, but just two different like parts of the journey. But the planet behind this man is Uranus. And as you can see, like he looks really wired and just kind of like tattered, like almost like kind of like the looks of like scientists that's been working in their lab for months and months non-stop, and they've just reached this ultimate level of like genius within their equations and their experiments and whatever, and they've let themselves go all in search for this one cure or one formula or one answer to an equation. So that's kind of what this card is giving me. The next card that jumped out is the element of earth, and we already know when it comes to earth energy, that can represent like stability, that can represent your body, it can represent money, your finances, your worth. We have the energy from the planet of Saturn, we have the energy from the planet Uranus, and then we have this earth energy as well coming into the picture. I definitely think that this is talking about finances, because the next card that jumped out is Nine of Water, and as you can see, we have the goddess Lakshmi in this beautiful vibrant abundance that's all around her. And when we think about water is abundant. Water is tapping into body of water can help release and remove stagnant energies. And the goddess, the deity Lakshmi, represents prosperity. She is never short of her gifts. She's never short of abundance. She's willing to share and spread that all over the place. This is the second time I have drawn a card with Lakshmi in it, so I definitely feel like this is this energy is very abundant during this time of the year. For those who need to hear this message within the collective, there is an abundance and there is a prosperity. There's a prosperous energy that is coming in. And in the way in which it's being delivered is through the energy of Lakshmi, through the goddess of Lakshmi, in a way where it's abundant and it just keeps coming and coming and coming. And then when I think of this card, it says Nine of Water. I also think of the Nine of Cups. In traditional tarot, The Nine of Cups represents wish fulfillment, the things that you've been wanting, the things that you've been wishing for, that being granted, your dreams coming true. And for those in the collective who maybe have been having a really hard time with abundance, with feeling prosperous in their life, with their finances, feeling like you've been in a cycle of lack, feeling like you don't have enough. This energy, I feel like, is coming in, and it's something that you should open up to, because it's a possibility for you. It's very possible for you. And with these two energies, you have the Six of Fire, which is the Saturn card, and then you also have the Seven of Fire. And what I'm getting is Spirit is saying that there are many within the collective who feel lost, or just feel like they don't know what to do, or which direction to turn, or what more can they do, because they're doing the same thing. It's a good thing when it comes to when you're working towards something. It's a good thing to harness the energy of Saturn, to harness that discipline, to be consistent, to work through whatever you're working through, no matter how tough it is, no matter how hard it may seem, to overcome those challenges, face those challenges with consistency, with dedication, with discipline. It's really good to tap into that kind of energy. But I'm also getting that there may be some kind of rigidity, that word. There may be some of you within the collective that have been living life a little bit too rigid, and there's a need for you to tap into an energy that's more unpredictable, that's more risk-taking, that's more unexpected. There's a need for you to do something that is unexpected, and that's what I'm getting from this Seven of Fire card. With the energy of Uranus in the background. Uranus is all about unpredictability. It's all about unexpected changes. Things just one day being one way, and then the next day being completely different. And it can go any way. It can go with one day you deciding to act on something. Let's say you've been putting off a creative project for a very long time. You decide, you know what, I'm going to finish it and I'm going to put it out. And you put it out and it does a whole lot better than you expected it to do. Or it can go in another way where you decide to sit on an opportunity, and then you have an unexpected, unforeseen expense that comes up. And you're not expecting it, and then you're not prepared for it, but because you sat on something for so long that could have possibly helped you with something that was unexpected, now you have to deal with the stress that comes with dealing with something that you didn't expect to happen, and also being unprepared. So with Uranus, the energy of course can go both ways, but in this instance I'm definitely seeing that there's a need for you to do something you haven't done, break the status quo, do something that is unexpected of you, do something that is outside of your routine, do something that is outside of the box of excuses that you have built to justify why you are not doing what you know you should be doing, or going after the life that you want, going after whatever it is that you want, whether it's a job or a person or just an opportunity. There's a need for you to break out of certain restrictions, certain ways that you've been living your life, certain patternings that you've been living your life, and maybe some of it is karmic, and it's something that has been really hard for you to work through. For some of you in the collective, I'm getting that there's a karmic patterning that you have been working through, and it's been tough. It has been very hard. It's been a very hard lesson that has come up for you many times, many times, over and over again. But there's been a need for you to work through it. And I'm getting that you're at a point in your healing journey, or at a point in this karmic lesson, where you need to not do the things that you are used to doing, or not do the things that you feel like is the answer to your problems at this time. There's a need for you to do something completely different, something that is completely wild, something that is completely rebellious right now, to break out of this rigidity, the word, to break out of whatever box that karmic lesson has kept you in for so long, whatever box that way of thinking, or whatever box that belief system, that mental programming has kept you in for so long. So for example, if you are someone who believes you are not worthy of something, or you're not worthy of a better life, for some of you in the collective, this may be something that you may resonate with, but for some of us, sometimes we don't believe that we deserve a better life. It can be hard to admit that. It could be hard to acknowledge that as a truth within ourselves so that we can do something about it. And it could be something that's very like under the current, something that's burrowed deep within our subconscious that we don't even realize is running the whole show. We don't even realize is running our life, running our actions. We don't even realize that a lot of our actions is coming from this little seed that is also happens to be rotten and festering and infecting all of our beliefs, all of our emotions, all of our perceptions. This little seed is just infecting a lot of what we do, a lot of what we believe, a lot of our thinking. And so if you have been able to come into awareness that this is something that you carry this belief of feeling like you don't deserve a better life, then the next course of action will be to prove to yourself that you do deserve a better life. And the way that you go about it can be very unexpected. It can be abrupt. It can be jarring to the version of you that is still carrying old beliefs, old habits, old systems. But by you breaking out and saying, no, I actually do deserve a better life. I do deserve wealth. I do deserve abundance. I do deserve it all. And because I believe that, I'm going to follow this thing that I've been wanting to follow for who knows how long, because I believe so deeply within my body, within my spirit, that this is something that is for me, and this is something that's going to work out, and this is something that is going to give me a life that is better for me. I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to break out of this patterning. I'm going to break out of these walls. I'm going to break out of the rigidity of how I've been living my life. I'm going to do something I've never done before. For some of you, maybe you have a stable job right now, and you've had this job for who knows how long, but it's always, it hasn't satisfied you. Provide you a certain level of stability that is acceptable within the society, and also, maybe good for your nervous system. But because of that job, you've been sitting on a gold mine of ideas that you've been waiting to act upon, and maybe you decide to do something unexpected and out of character, and you decide to quit your job just so you can pursue these ideas, just so you can pursue that business, just so you can pursue investing into skills, investing your time into the knowledge, investing your time into taking classes so that you can get better at something, so that you can pursue what you actually want to do with your life. That is what these two cards are giving. Is breaking out of what is traditional, is breaking out of systems, is breaking out of the box that you have contained yourself in for so long, in order to become something that is more free, that is more authentic, that expresses itself in a way that is very like, you don't really care. You don't really care what other people think. It is very unique to who you are and who you're becoming. So that is what I'm getting from these two cards. I want to touch on the next two cards because I feel like I need to read these cards in pairs, because with this element of earth, and then you have the energy of Lakshmi and water. Oh my gosh, am I getting bit? How am I getting bit? And I didn't know your girl could get bit after putting on mosquito repellent, but apparently that's still a thing. Anyways, You got the element of earth, and then you have this Nine of Water card with the goddess Lakshmi on it. And so there is just a lot of abundance and a lot of prosperity, but it's the kind of abundance that's like flooding in. It's the kind of abundance that's non-stop, and it sticks around with this element of earth. It's stable. It's something that isn't temporary. It's something that stays around for a very long time. So for the part of the collective that maybe has been feeling financially tight or just financially lacking in certain areas of your life, or maybe you just don't feel abundant, maybe you just feel like there's not a lot of opportunities for you to change, there's not a lot of opportunities to shift your life, maybe you just simply feel like how your life is now is the only way you can live your life. And Spirit is saying that there is going to be an abundance of opportunities, an abundance of resources all around you flooding into your life that you'll be able to take advantage of as long as you stay open. But in order to take advantage of these opportunities that come into your life, or in order to receive these abundant blessings, it is going to require you to step outside of your comfort zone. Step outside of the patterning that you've been living your life. Step outside of your norm. There's stability coming in. There's abundance coming in. There is an improvement in your financial standing, an improvement in your financial situation coming in. Stepping outside of your comfort zone, becoming someone that would even shock you, will help you take advantage of the blessings that life is ready to give you. Stepping outside of your comfort zone, stepping outside of your typical expression and adopting a new personality, a new way of doing things, a new belief system, new habits, new decisions, new actions will lead you to this energy sooner rather than later. It is time for the collective to stop doing the same old thing, stop behaving in the same old way, stop reacting in the same old way, stop choosing the same thing. It is time for the collective to shake things up. And it's either you shake things up or things are shaken up for you. The choice is yours. Either way, as long as you're open and willing to let go of the past, you can experience a life where you will never go without. You can experience something that would feel or seem like a fantasy to the current or the old version of yourself. For those who need to hear this message, the way in which you are living your life right now is not where you are meant to stay. You are meant to experience more. You are meant to expand into something, expand into someone more than what you are now. But a lot of you within the collective are still holding on to the same patternings, the same beliefs, the same reactions, the same blah, 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 blah. A lot of you don't feel like it's safe to move forward because of the whiplash you've experienced through your healing journey. And in these instances, it is recommended that you regulate your nervous system so that you can continue to reprogram yourself to feel safe with the new. So that when new opportunities come into your life, when unexpected blessings come into your life, you don't backtrack, you don't turn around, you don't talk yourself out of it, you don't tell yourself you're not deserving or worthy. You embrace it because you have regulated your nervous system and you've let your body know that this is safe. The unexpected is safe. Things that are too good to be true are safe. All right, y'all, so that is message from Spirit. I just channeled directly from her. I am currently getting eaten alive by these mosquitoes, but we're gonna pull a few tarot cards. I wanna get into the details of what these opportunities could look like. We know it's something to do with finances or with your stability, but let's get into some more details on it. I want to ask Spirit to clarify this Six of Fire and this Seven of Fire card. I want to ask specifically with this Six of Fire card, what exactly do you need the collective to do? What does the collective need to break out of right now that is preventing them from embracing an energy that will bring them to their new version of self? So we have the Four of Wands. And then we also have the King of Chalices, which is the King of Cups in reverse. So the first thing I'm getting is don't cry over spilled milk. For some reason, with these two cards, I'm also kind of getting, there is something big in your life that you want to manifest. There is something big that you want to bring into your life. Something that is a completely opposite from what you're doing right now within your life, whether that be you working a job and instead of working a job you become an entrepreneur, or you moving from one industry to another, or you going from being single to maybe putting yourself out there more so that you can find yourself a partner. I'm just getting that there is a goal, there is a manifestation, there is a desire, there is a wish, there is a want that you want to bring into your life. But with this King of Cups in reverse, it is something that only lives in your fantasies. It is not something that you are treating as something that is real. It's something that you treat as a fantasy. It's something that you escape into. Maybe if you're someone who likes to daydream, or if you're someone who meditates, you may practice visualization during your meditation practices, but in your waking day-to-day life, you do nothing to work towards this big goal, this big dream, this big aspiration. You do nothing to work towards it. You just allow it to live in fantasy. Your actions reflect you allowing to live in fantasy, or perhaps maybe you live in your imagination too much. It's one thing to want something and to be able to visualize it and to feel it within your body, but it's another thing to actually do the tangible work to work towards it. And this Four of Wands card, Four of Wands is a card of celebration. It's a card of we've built up enough momentum to make it to this big moment. But specifically in this card, you see that they are prepping for a celebration, a big celebration. And what goes into prepping for a celebration? You have to do the planning, you have to pick out the decorations, you have to pick out the food, you have to confirm the RSVPs, you have to send out invitations, you have to have a lot of conversation around this big thing that you want to bring into fruition. In this case, with only looking at this card, it's a party. So these people within this imagery are doing the work to bring this party into fruition. Oh, y'all, it's getting kind of crazy out here with these bugs. Anyways, the people in this imagery are doing what they got to do to bring this together. They put in the work. They did the planning. They took the actionable steps to make it happen, and they're making it happen. But with this Nine of Cups card being in reverse, this fantasy, this dream, this party, this big celebration, the momentum that's leading to this big relief is stuck in your mind. It's stuck in your emotional realm. It's stuck in your imagination. It's only something to be experienced within the mind, and that's a problem. It's almost like you've built up a fantasy world that has boxed you into a patterning of behaviors that only in your mind do you feel that you deserve to experience this thing. So once again, going back to the example of if you're someone who feels like you don't deserve the life that you have always wanted, or you don't deserve the thing that you have always wanted, for some of you, maybe you only feel like you deserve it within your mind, only deserve it within your imagination, but you don't deserve the tangible manifestation of that thing. You're still living in this patterning that is outdated for you. It's outdated for who you are becoming. And so there's a need for you to break out of it. There's a need for you to break out of feeling like you are only deserving of what you want out of your life only within your imagination. There's a need for you to break out of it by doing something unexpected, acting on impulse. If you impulsively decided that you want to go after this thing and you built up enough momentum to get to the point where you finally see this thing manifesting in front of your eyes in a tangible way in the material world, sometimes it just takes for you to do that unexpected thing. Sometimes it requires you to make a decision that you haven't made before. Sometimes it requires you to go left when usually you go right. Sometimes it requires you to stop eating certain foods that you've been so used to eating. You've noticed that your body doesn't respond to those foods in the same way. If anything, your body is responding negatively to those foods. You continue to eat those foods when your body has already told you that, hey, I've had enough of these peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for dinner every night. I actually need something of substance. I need you to give me something different. And so I'm going to pull just a few more cards about this abundance energy that's coming in. I want to ask Spirit, what will it look like for this part of the collective who needs to hear this message? What will this abundance energy look like? Would it come in the form of a job? Would it come in the form of financial stability? What is it going to come into so that the collective knows that when it comes, they're able to see it and recognize it and take advantage of it? So the first card that jumped out is the King of Wands. And the first word that's coming to mind is liberation, opportunity to lead or become a leader, an opportunity to become a person that people look up to because you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, you've acted upon it in a way that inspires other people, or you've just acted on authentically expressing yourself in a way that inspires people. Then we have the next card that jumped out, which is the Nine of Swords. And as you can see, this imagery is this girl and she's being attacked by these birds. And these birds are presenting her thoughts that are creating this constant noise and that are keeping her up at night. And she's not able to shut out these thoughts. But with this energy in reverse, it's almost like a clearing of this energy. All those doubts, all those worries, all those fears are fading. They are leaving. They are being released from your system because you are becoming a person who is confident. You are becoming a person who is sure of themselves. There's something about the energy of these two cards that says that I have stepped into my power. I have become this authentic version of myself. I have embraced my passions. I've acted on my passions, and all of the thoughts that carried worries and fears and disbeliefs have dissipated. The next card that jumped out is the Eight of Pentacles. And as you can see, she is enjoying what she is doing. She is making some pottery. The Eight of Pentacles is all about working hard, perfecting your craft, putting in the work to create something that is quality versus quantity. But as you can see in this imagery, she's happy to do it. She is very okay with doing it. She enjoys her craft. So maybe there's an opportunity that is coming in for you to enjoy the journey that you're on a bit more. Maybe for some of you, you've been on a journey and it's felt grueling. It's felt like non-stop lesson after lesson. It's felt like non-stop healing. It's felt like non-stop, how much more do I have to put in to get what I want? But I think Spirit is saying that there's going to be opportunities for you to actually enjoy this journey a bit more, for you to actually enjoy your work a bit more. There's going to be a bit more enjoyment coming in for the collective. And then the last two cards that jumped out is the Eight of Wands, and it's in reverse. And then we also have the Four of Pentacles. So with the Eight of Wands is all about forward momentum. But with it being in reverse, I'm getting that there is kind of like an energy of like start stopping. With you being in that energy, for some of you within the collective, it has created a pace that has gotten you nowhere. These thoughts that come in, these worries, these doubts, these fears that come in continually stop your progress. The version of you that's like, hey, you need to slow down. You're going too fast in this direction that is going into the unknown, and it's making me really afraid, and I don't feel safe here. So maybe you've had a lot of delayed progress, a lot of delayed success, because you've allowed these thoughts to get to you. You've allowed these worries to get to you, these fears to get to you. And so what I'm getting from Spirit is there's going to be an opportunity that comes in so that you can finally put a stop to this energy. It's almost like there's something that's going to be that comes in to where it's almost like you have no choice but to, if you're open, if you have no choice but to continue to pour into it, because you see that it is actually going to give you exactly what you want. It's like an opportunity that is so grand that it's enough to stop these thoughts in their track. And then of course we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. And with the Four of Pentacles in traditional tarot, it's an image of a man who's holding on to their pentacles so very tightly. They have done a lot of work to get and receive those Four Pentacles, and now they are holding on to those pentacles for dear life. So that is what the traditional meaning of the Four of Pentacles is. And as you can see within this imagery, you see a woman, and she is looking what it looks like her stash of goods, her stash of things, but the way in which she's looking at it is almost like worrisome. It's almost like, oh my gosh, do I have enough? Is there enough of this? Have I made enough? Have I bought enough? Have I stored enough? Have I kept enough? Have I held on to enough? So with this being in reverse, I'm once again getting that energy of being doubtful that you have enough, being fearful or doubtful if you are enough. That is what I'm getting from this card. And so once again, that energy is coming up again of those fears, those doubts, those worries being something that has stopped your momentum time and time again, to where you haven't been able to experience or get a taste of something that exceeds your expectations. So this opportunity that's coming in, this abundance that is coming in, that is bringing this financial abundance, this financial prosperity, it's going to be something that is definitely going to stop the worrying, stop the fear, stop the doubt, as long as you're willing to be open to it, be open to the unexpected blessings pouring into your life. And the last card, which is the card at the bottom of the deck, is the Judgment card. Specifically within this imagery, we see that she is at her altar space, and it does look like she is opening herself up to either receiving guidance or asking for guidance. When you ask for something, being open to receiving the answer and being open to doing what you got to do in order to get what you want. That's basically what this card means. A lot of you already know what you need to do to shift, to change, to shake things up. But for those of you who don't, be open to receiving the signs on what you need to do to change your situation, to change this patterning of behavior that you've been caught up in, that has been giving you the same results over and over again that you don't want. So be open to receiving the signs, be open to receiving the messages from Spirit on what you need to do to shake things up, on what you need to do to change your life so that you can open up to this abundance that is your birthright. So yeah, y'all, that has been your message. I'm about to go in the house so I can stop being eaten alive by these mosquitoes. But thank you for watching this video. If you would like to book a reading with me, the link will be in the description box below. But yeah, other than that, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you would like to see any future videos by your girl, the Right Oracle, go ahead and hit that subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.